All right, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills taking on this Dolphins defense. I already uploaded a video about the other side of the ball, about the Dolphins offense going up against the Bills and how I'm projecting that to go in week 18. So check that one out if you haven't already. But if you want to stick on this video, you can watch them out of order. It doesn't really matter. So feel free to watch this one and then watch that one after if that's what you want to do. But yeah, let's talk about the Bills offense going up against this Dolphins defense. We obviously have to bring up what happened week 4. I mean, you look at these numbers, they aren't good, they're great. I mean, this is domination across the board. They put up double-digit points in every quarter except the fourth, where they still got a touchdown there, and they had 31 in the first half. So, domination from start to finish offensively for the Bills. You look at Josh Allen's numbers, he had 25 attempts, 320 yards. So if you can get over 10 yards per attempt, that's like amazing. He did way over that. Also, the 4 touchdowns to 0 interceptions ratio is very good on top of it. This was kind of the start of the Josh Allen MVP candidacy that kind of definitely took a dip and has surfaced again towards the end of the season before Lamar kind of ran away with it. You look at who he was throwing to. Diggs was a huge part of this game, and we're going to get to that when we get into the film in just a second. But you have to think that, just talking about it right now, but it's going to be a big part of what we talk about. Jalen Ramsey on Diggs might be where this game is won or lost. Gabe Davis still made some plays, and James Cook had a big 48-yard completion as well, and then a bunch of other guys with a catch or two here, here and there. Also in the running game, kind of weirdly, Damian Harris and Latavius Murray both had pretty good days, but James Cook was not able to get a lot going. So I'm assuming Miami was just more prepared for James Cook, and when he came on the field, they were paying more attention to a potential run. Only 2.4 yards per carry there. So, let's just be honest. It's the Bills. If they're going to beat you, they're going to beat you through the air. If you look at the Pro Football Focus grades for each of these teams in specific positional categories, this is over the course of the entire season. You see that, we have some good on good here. You see that the Bills have the third best passing. That's Josh Allen. And it is worth mentioning, Josh Allen is PFF's highest graded overall quarterback. So Tua, PFF's highest rated just passer of the football. Allen, number 1, if you include rushing ability. Also, I know the receiving 14 there is a little bit smaller. Just I kind of screwed up with the graphics. So again, not exactly a graphic designer here, all right? Doing what I can. But you see that the Bills also have the 14th best receiving corps. So with the 11th best coverage, and again, you have to factor in, Ramsey came through around, he missed the first third of the season or so. So you add all that together, it's probably a top 10 coverage unit going up against a top 10 passing unit. Good on good there. And the pass block versus pass rush thing is definitely worth noting. Because you see it's like slight edge Miami is what you would think just watching that. But of course, that is, that would be assuming everyone is healthy, which for Miami is not a safe assumption at all. Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb will be out. Now, got to give credit to Andrew Van Ginkel, who's done a really good job. He's gotten a lot of one-on-one matchups and really succeeded. Can he carry that edge rush group? I don't know. Is Emmanuel Ogbah going to step up? I don't know. I'm not betting on any of that for sure happening. So I think this becomes a mismatch in Buffalo's favor due to the injuries. And like I said with the running game, Miami's actually had a great run defense. It's graded really well. And Buffalo, not a bad running game. And they run the ball. Guys with the ball do a very good job. Part of that is Josh Allen. I wonder if they'll try that in this game. But let's get into the film. What went so right for the Buffalo Bills in this first matchup? Well, some of it was just, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs matchup. Something like this, where on paper, you might be wondering, well, how could this be a big play? It's just, Diggs is running underneath on zone coverage on a second down and goal. What could possibly happen? Well, Allen takes the snap. He looks over. He actually moves outside the pocket a little bit. And Diggs is, again, could he just sit here? Allen makes a throw. You gain 3 yards or so. Yeah, that's what they could do. But this is where the, kind of off-script magic that Diggs and Allen can pull out is just so impactful. Where watch what both of them are going to do. Because Allen's starting to get, the pressure's starting to come for Allen. But watch him move up. He fires off balance. He hits Diggs, who gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Great stuff by Diggs. Great stuff by Allen. Great stuff by the Bills, and frustrating stuff by the Dolphins. And that's something you have to be aware of, is that there's just I mean, quite frankly, the Bills are a team where just because you stop the initial play does not mean you have stopped them. So that's something you have to be aware of. But in that first game, and part of why I'm not going to show a ton of plays from that first game is in part because, like, I really think that Jalen Ramsey getting added to this Dolphins roster, it just changes the way the game is going to go. Like, you see that on this play, you have Stephon Diggs, who, it's a one-on-one matchup in this situation. They're trying to see if they can cover him one-on-one. It's going to be Kader Kohu, who I actually like as a player, but, he's not Jalen Ramsey, right? So watch what he's going to do here. Allen takes the snap. He runs this play action. He looks towards Diggs' direction. He fires towards Diggs' direction, and a little bit hard to tell here, which is why I put the circles there to hopefully help. You can see, though, Diggs is the one in yellow. He has a good amount of separation. He just created a big window for Allen. Watch as Allen hits Diggs. Diggs is going to, at this point, you're thinking, okay, well, does what he can. Can't really seem to get out of this, right? Well, no, somehow he does get out of it. He actually returns it the rest of the way for a touchdown. So on a play that, seemed to be going good for like a 30-yard gain, ends up being a 55-yard touchdown. So the fact that they can do that is definitely concerning. But if you're a Dolphins fan, you're saying, well, we have a guy that we made a real effort to go out and get. I mean, didn't trade a ton for him. It was a weird trade. Not sure why a team didn't outbid them. But if you do that, can you cover the rest of the way? Well, going over to here, yes and no. I mean, what's going to happen on this one is, so now it's going to be man coverage, and you have Dalton Kincaid. That's the player for Buffalo that they're going to be looking towards on this one. He's in a one-on-one matchup, and the graphic is actually off. It's going to end up being linebacker David Long who's going to be covering Kincaid on this play. But to me, that's where I want this game to go. Listen, I like Dalton Kincaid, but if I'm a Dolphins fan, that's what I want to do. If I'm Vic Fangio, I'm trying to get the ball to go to Kincaid instead of Diggs. So watch how on this 3rd and 5, Allen takes the snap. He looks towards Kincaid here, and Long is pretty well covered. You can see why Allen wants to make this throw. But when he does, it gets batted away. So, that's, to me, this is what you want to see have happen. And I don't think that pass was going to be complete even if it wasn't batted away. That's why I'm showing the play. I wouldn't just show it if he was open, but there was a batted play. Or maybe I would, but then I would use it as a compliment towards the Bills. Listen, the Bills tore apart this Dolphins defense the first time. If we go to my predictions page, the first time, let's just go down the line. The Bills' season offensive points per drive is 2.52, which is one of the best in football. Miami's has been a good 1.99, and again, has done a lot better since Ramsey has gotten there. It was a disaster week 4. 4.8 points per drive for Buffalo. Or, again, I'm kind of taking it from Miami's perspective, but the obvious, Bills fans are saying it wasn't a disaster. It was awesome. Okay, fair enough. But, for Miami, it was a disaster, and a little bit of an asterisk on the points per drive. What I do when I go through the individual games is, there were 2 drives that the Bills didn't try to score. I take those out of the equation, which, the overall numbers it's not taken out of the equation. So, that's notable. But either way, it was dominant. It was, again, if there wasn't a team in football this year that had over 3 points per drive on the season, the 4.8 is absurd. I don't think that's happening again. I just don't. There was some plays went really well for Buffalo. They also did have some short fields, and adding Ramsey should help a ton. But I can't sit here and say it's going to be like a typical Miami defensive performance, right? I'm going with 2.3 points per drive. I do think Buffalo actually goes below their season offense, but again, if you watch my last video, you can already put 2 and 2 together and figure out who I am predicting. I think it'll be a closer game, but I am going Bills 28, Dolphins 25 as my final score. That would be, if those points per drive hold and it's a 12-possession game, there's where you would be. I do think Miami has a chance here. I had been predicting Miami in my kind of, weekly predictions show, but again, that was kind of just, I was looking at the thing, I said, I guess I'll go Miami. Looking at it closer, I have changed my opinion. I am going to go Buffalo here. So in case you're wondering, if you've been following all that, you might be wondering, wait, why are you, it's just because, I've changed my opinion on it. I can do that sometimes when I take a deeper dive into stuff. So yeah, I am going with a slight edge to the Buffalo Bills, but 3 points, right? Which is actually, I believe, right what the line is set at. So I feel like Vegas got it right here. I do think maybe Miami is getting a bit slept on by some people. I think they do have a chance, but Ramsey has to have a big day, and they might need to get a Josh Allen turnover or two, which isn't the most crazy thing in the world to have happen. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.